This is PGA Tour 2K25. We're here on PlayStation 5 Pro. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. So this is a continuation of the now ongoing golfing simulation from 2K. It's got some pretty interesting origin roots, and it continues to build upon those foundations, adding in new tournaments, licensing deals, and everything else along the way. So this is kind of my return to the series as well, because I did 21, I think, and then I missed 23, and now I'm back for 25. It's a little harder to give you an idea of, like, iterative improvements, but I can give you some context from the previous one I played to this one. And that is kind of the idea of what we're going for here today. And there's a couple different graphical modes. We're just in quality mode right now, which is your 4K 30 FPS. Thought we'd kind of get... Am I overcompensating? Let's see. It goes... Yeah, so I'm trying to do well and also talk, and I don't want to make a mistake. Oh, come on! Sorry. Sorry, my bad. But yeah, this is actually a really impressive offering in terms of gameplay mechanics and style for this one. They've got a lot of the tournaments. They've got a lot of stuff coming in. It really is maybe the best golfing game ever made. I don't know, from like a modern context, I've been playing these for quite a while. I'm coming off of the PGA Tour from EA that was a year or so back, and that one had some good stuff, but it was also missing a lot of stuff. And I think from a gameplay foundation, like as far as the mechanics and like simulation versus fun versus like you getting to fine-tune how you want to play this game, I think this kind of nails golf, or at least my idea of what golf is supposed to be like. Like when I'm playing this, I can actually like proficiently understand what I'm supposed to do in order to actually achieve what I need to do, which is getting the ball in the hole and trying to get the ball under par and everything like that. I've had a couple of like runs and I'm like, I'm actually like doing well at this, and like I don't have to fine-tune things too much, but I'm actually being proficient. But for those that want to get more intense about it, those options are also there for you too, which is to me rather exciting. So yeah, the game isn't really pushing visual boundaries, which is slightly disappointing. Like, it definitely could look a lot better, in my opinion. I would say that is the one kind of negative aspect of it, where I'm saying, as like a core golf game, as far as the golfing, fantastic, very well done. You know, even the scale of it, there's lots of people, the courses, everything like that. But the visuals leave a little bit to be desired, for sure. Like, I think it looks fine, you know, but like, yeah, it does leave a little bit there to be desired from a visual standpoint. So I think they have some work to go and room to go forward in terms of like visuals, and this like FSR, which kind of, you know, FSR is FSR. And by default, I believe it's on performance mode. I think. Can't remember, but I usually play on performance mode. So for performance mode, yeah, it looks like it just drops into like 1440, and it's 60 FPS. So it's like, you know, definitely worth it, in my opinion, to play with the performance mode, so you get like the fluidity. I mean, it's like, it's golf, so you're not like, I don't know how to describe it. It's not like you're battling or you really necessarily need the frame rate, but it just feels a lot better. It looks a lot better when you're playing on performance mode. So I kind of prefer performance, but you know, again, it's like golf. It's like, you know, I think you kind of want the better looking game when it comes to golfing, and I don't know if you're really, like, your average player is really going to notice the drop between the two modes. Like, they do look similar enough. Like, you can tell it gets a little... See, that's the problem with the visuals on this one, where it's like, it looks good, but it doesn't look like so good where you're like, oh wow, big drop in quality between quality and performance mode. And yeah. So just giving you options there. Did I mention HDR? HDR. Locally 4, online 4, for like co-op stuff, and then I think online multiplayer is like 20 player setups or whatever. You want to go and like do like there's different areas. Oh, I was kind of worried there that I kind of overshot it. So you see, like, I'm actually doing pretty good here. It's like I was doing the PGA Tour from EA there, and it was like I was really struggling to kind of get it going. Whereas this one, I picked up, and it just like feels good. It just feels good. And it gives you a lot of like mechanics to understand like how you're doing things, where you're going, what you're doing. And it's building off the foundation of, again, a very good golfing series that 2K kind of came in and influenced. Where you get what is basically really cool custom courses and stuff, so people can make courses. They have all these courses that are customized. In theory, I guess this is really a nasty kind of curve here. I feel like I'm gonna overshoot or undershoot it. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I was nowhere near it. That was bad, but So it's quite a curvature. But like in theory, the idea with these games was that you can make like any course you want or anything like that. But the game actually does come loaded with what I think are a great selection of like real course locations. There was just pages and pages of them, and then of course on top of that, you can make stuff where you can play what others have made, and I think that's just absolutely fantastic. Like it just gives you a really extensive wealth of content. And I really do think that core aspect of it is really, really good. I hope they continue to evolve support for that. So this newest iteration, they've continued to improve with, again, where are we situated on this one? Okay, I see where we're going. We're going right off. Ugh, that was bad. Okay. Yeah, so they've got the tournaments. So that's like a big part of these sport games is like getting the IP. And I guess I would say IP, that was a bad hit. Maybe. Yeah, it could have been a little straighter. That, you know what? I'm gonna take that. That's pretty good. That's giving me right in the zone to hit this. So, yeah, the IP as in the branding thing. So like the licensing. I think I'm overcorrecting. No, we got it. We're good. Alright, cool. So we've got the US Open Championship, the Open Championship, and the PGA Championship debuting within the 2K franchise. So it's sort of like if you're playing something like football, soccer, and they got the licensed leagues and everything like that. And they're, different companies compete for these things, and it's just really nice to have, everything kind of getting into this ultimate golfing game. It really is interesting that like, EA just kind of abandoned the Tiger Woods kind of thing, and then like PGA Tour is just kind of coming in here and just absolutely doing a great job of dominating this sort of sport in terms of like simulation and recreating it and just really making a great game. Like it's very, very well done. So the game has a bunch of different options in how you go about it. So you can kind of like there's the pre-existing athletes, the pre-existing golfers and stuff like that, but the core is sort of you make a golfer, and there's some pretty decent levels of like personalization. So you can like you make your golfer, and you got to like build up your stats. So it's kind of like the typical 2K. Sorry, it's kind of like the typical 2K kind of thing where you have to build up your stats and stuff, and that could be quicker in terms of stat building and that, but it depends on how interested you are into that sort of thing. Like I don't really care about that as much as like some people really get into the idea of like doing your career thing and stuff, and it's just kind of like the sports games a lot of the time I just like to come in and just play them, do quick play and just play matches. And when you leave a match too in a quick play, it'll like save your spot so you can continue, which is kind of nice. And yeah, like that's just kind of how I approach these sort of things. But you have like a career option. See, now I have an issue where I'm constantly over to the right. And yeah, it's just like I can't seem to quite, something I gotta work on. I'm like over correcting and stuff. But they that went in my favor. Yeah, so you get those attribute points, diverse customizations, equipment or gear and that, and lots of licensed things to recreate golf to its fullest. And then we've got the prestigious championships, golf simulation for franchising, personalizing your game. So there's like the my career, like I mentioned, my player, like I mentioned, course designer options, ranked matches, casual, cross-platform multiplayer. Yeah, just a few different ways to appreciate and enjoy this golfing game, which I think is fantastic. not bad. Could have been closer, but not bad. Yeah, and some people take this a lot more serious than others, and it's just kind of like, it's a nice package. It really is. And, you know, the one thing I just gotta say, like, visually, it doesn't look bad, but it's just sort of like, you know, usually expect sports games to be, like, really visually boundary pushing, and, ugh. This is gonna be a toughie, because, like, if I overshoot it, it's gonna, like, roll for a while. Oh, come on! Are you for real? Are you? Sorry, that's just, it's emotionally traumatizing. Like, I'm doing good, but, like, you know. Sorry, just it bothers me, you know, I'm trying to do good at this. So I'm actually, like, kind of like, I really liking this, which is neat, because, like, you know, I come in every now and then, I get to check out these golf games and stuff, and I like them, they're fun, they're easygoing. Golf itself, you know, I'm not necessarily the greatest in real life, I haven't really been able to practice in a long time, but, you know, in some of my younger days, I did the shooting range, and, you know, I was golfing and stuff. Yeah, it's just, it's kind of neat, because you get, like, this sort of interesting system, and then on top of that, too, for how you shoot the golf ball, that was way over. You get a few different options. Like, you can use the stick. I think there's like 3 preset kind of options for how you want to do it. You kind of get to choose right when you start playing. Didn't hit that hard enough. Oh, really? Really? My golfer should just drop his club in frustration for that. That sucks. Okay. Anyways, like I was saying, you get a few different preset options for how you want to, like, choose how your swing works. So it's like there's a button swing, there's using the skill stick kind of thing. Can you call it a skill stick? You know what I'm talking about, though. Using your... there we go. Using your sticks to get it in the hole and stuff. And it's also really cool on the PlayStation side of things here. Just like some of the vibrations and some of the little sounds your controller makes while you're doing stuff is really, really nice. It's actually like a nice little responsive bit for like hitting the ball or doing something even in the menus where you get like the VC points or whatever where they pop up and it's like a little sound and it's nice little things. Not annoying sounds, but like nice little improve your experience audio bits and vibration. Basically, like, they just did a really nice job with this game. Like, you know, there's things you can kind of pick out here or there, but it's a very proficient golf game. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I'm kind of messing up now. I was doing really good, but the last hole is just not not the greatest thing. But I don't know. It's kind of neat. Like, even from building up your athlete perspective. There's a lot of, like, you know, skill stuff, skill trees and that you can move up. I way overcorrected. Oh, no, please stop rolling. Please stop rolling. Please stop rolling. Nope, you're not going to stop, are you? Yeah, you're going all the way down. You're embarrassing me out there, golf ball. No, that really did suck. But, yeah, they've evolved things too. The Evo swing mechanics are enhancing. There's new shot types, ball flights, little tweak improvements for visuals on doing that stuff. Like I said, I think it's a really nice package. I think it's a really comprehensive one. There's a lot of courses, there's a lot of setups. There's a lot you can do in this game. That's the thing. Like, it's been really interesting seeing it kind of grow, because the base of this game, before, you know, 2K kind of came in and stuff, like, that game was really good. It was the golf club. And then, like, they've basically just kind of been able to get, or will obtain, the licensing and the different things that allow it to become more and more like the full professional, intense sporting game that, you know, fans would probably want in terms of simulation and actually being able to capture the essence of the activity and the things you do in golf. And I think they're really quite getting there. There's some fun little tie-ins, too, as far as, like, some character stuff, and... See, I'm just so confident I can just get the ball in the hole there. I don't even got to line it up or anything or check it out. I'm doing okay. Like, I did, like, obviously 9 and 10, I was those were bad holes, but yeah, it's neat because like in other golf games, I'm just like sometimes it's just not doesn't click. If that makes sense. Like I know some people go really intense about these and they're great at golfing on all the different games and stuff, but there is something about this one where it's a little bit more approachable, accessible, and stuff like that. It just feels like out the box, I'm more able to, wrapping around to what I said at the start, actually come in here and proficiently play this game and not be like overly frustrated by it or feel like, oh, I'm not like clicking with it, not understanding it. Like I understand what it wants. And when I mess up, I know that I'm not making the right plays, which is kind of nice. Because sometimes when I play golf games, I'm like, ugh, the game's just frustrating me, or it's not like it's not going where I want it to or where I anticipate it to go. Whereas in this game, it actually feels like it's properly lining up, properly going where it needs to be. I've just been having fun playing this. I think that's a big thing too. It's just been genuinely a fun golfing experience. Like it's also really nice to be back here. I was a little disappointed I didn't get to check out. Oh, 20. Sorry, I didn't get to check out 21 because I was like, I think my no 21, 23. Because like my 21 coverage was like really good from what I remember. Like it did really well, and then I was just like, come on, like and checked a little. I think we're a little late on this, but we're still kind of timely to some degree. But mostly what I want to get across is like, as far as my experience coming from, I think it was 21 or. Yeah, I believe was the label for that one. And coming to this, like it does seem like there have been a number of improvements, enhancements, new features, new courses, new ways to play, new multiplayer options. Like it has evolved. It's a little harder for me to speak upon like iterative upgrades when I'm not like iteratively playing it every time it releases. So I don't really have the context to give you between the previous one and this one, how much of a gap there is in improvements, but just from my perspective here, this is fantastic as far as golfing goes. Definitely the best we have in the gaming industry right now. It's definitely above the PGA Tour from EA's gameplay. I would say that game does tend to have a little bit more of a realistic visual aesthetic and stuff. And like this game looks nice, but it does. I think like for the crowd quality and like just the environment quality, like it does have room to go in terms of improving the visuals, but I think as far as mechanics, physics, everything like that, it plays. Oh, come on! It plays well, and it plays like I expect it to, and I don't know. That was really bad. I'm really curious to see how this one sort of evolves a bit over time. And jumping into the next game, of course, down the road, it's always neat because there was like this just depressingly sad gap for which like golf games just didn't exist for like a long time, and it's just really good that I think it's like HB Studios. Yeah, HB Studios. I'm really glad that they kind of like stepped up, made their iteration, and then 2K. How did I overcorrect that much? 2K kind of came in and pushed for the extra bit of support to actually like get those licenses, get that stuff here to create like more and more of a proper golf game. And is it like for sports games? It sounds weird, but it's all about iterations. It's hard to get the it's hard to get the foundations right, but when you do and you just build upon it, you can get to near perfection for your stuff. So I am hoping that we do see more evolutions across the visual aesthetics of these games going forward. But it looks fine, it plays fine. It's just probably me being like, oh, visually and stuff, these sports games are supposed to be like mind-blowing and, I don't know, expectations versus the reality of things, but it's a nice package. I'd love to hear what people think about, like, the scale of everything this provides, but I think it mostly has everything that I kind of want out of a golf game. I know some people are probably going to be a little bit more hardcore towards the golf games and what they want out of them, but I genuinely enjoyed this. I think this is a great experience and a great game, and I think you will have as much fun playing it and as much little fun stress as I do when come on! You gotta be kidding me! I don't know if it's the talking while I'm playing or something like that, but anyways, PGA Tour 2K25 PlayStation 5 Pro. Hopefully we get a more intensive visual upgrade at some point, but for now, it plays really good, handles well, physics are great, mechanics are great, lots of stuff to enjoy. Good game.